यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान घन प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्माहमस्मि सोहमस्मि ब्रह्माहमस्मि ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञान मुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः. May the Almighty Shri Lord Venkateshwara bestow all kinds of prosperity, health, wealth and eternal happiness with Paripurna Lakshmi Katakshams to you and entire your family and friends. Let us begin Bhagavad Gita, verse number 21 of 16th chapter. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Trividham Narakasyedam Dvaram Nashanam Atmanaham कामः क्रोधस्तथा लोभः तस्मादेतत्रयं त्यजेत. Bhagavan is concluding the subject matter of Daiva Asura Sampat. Daiva Sampat was introduced only by 3 beginning verses. Remaining all verses, Bhagavan has described about Asura Sampat. This chapter is a very important chapter for our life. By learning which, we become careful with every part of our life. Every part of our life means what? When we think, we can channelize ourselves. When we fix our goal, we can channelize ourselves to fix a proper goal to avoid the wrong goals. And when we select the path, means to achieve the goal which is selected by us, because means also have to be selected properly, because our sense, object and mind and buddhi don't have capacity to judge what comes next, to judge about future. It cannot judge the fruit of an action. Always fruit of an action is kept as silence, means suspense to us. For us it is completely suspense. The whole future. So this second is in my control. We cannot talk about the next second, because next second is in the hand of Ishvara. It's not in our hand. We cannot utilize Purushartha, kartum va, akartum va, anyata va kartum shakyam. We cannot make any decision regarding future. Whatever we plan for future, they are not a decision. They are kind of, expectations which is in the form of decision, with some kind of guessing job, having backed up by past experiences. If a person wants to become a billionaire, he selects a business and he selects the people for it. While selecting the business as the means to reach the destination, he has to utilize his knowledge which is earned by past. He might have been worked, or he should have been worked under so many people, so many companies, so that he could have a kind of experiences. Those experiences can be utilized with these means which have been selected as the business. While selecting people also, he should be aware enough the tendency of human nature. The human nature is to compete. Human nature is to cheat. The human nature which also serves to the humanity. Now the person who wants to run a company, he should know what kind of people must be selected, what kind of talent one has. There are people who are very cruel people but owning lots of talents. Now he should know how to handle them. In order to select them, he should have knowledge about his own self first of all. Then he can become a successful person. Everything begins from here. He should know how to manage his own emotions. He should have complete particulars about his own self. He should be clear with his destination. All these things works. Therefore, while studying this chapter, you should read again and again every words. Every word has to be digested properly, assimilated properly. Then you can be a successful human being first of all. Then you can fix the goal according to your wish. Shastra never says only you have to select spiritual goal. You should not select materialistic goal. Shastra will say the reality. Materialistic goal won't give what you need. What I need, sir? You need complete happiness, my dear. You need complete rest. You need complete peace. You need a world which doesn't have competition. That's what your expectations. You need complete security, my dear. In order to get security alone, you started making effort in the form of crying when you were baby. When you were a baby. From that point, though the nature of actions may vary, but the effort is same. Proper shelter to have proper security. Once I am secure, I make effort to get pleasure. The security and pleasure, these are all the destination. This complete, unlimited security and unlimited pleasure cannot be received or achieved by achieving materialistic goal. That's all. Shastra gives knowledge, means the thorough knowledge of materialistic goal. And Shastra also tells about the glory of ultimate goal. Ultimate goal, it doesn't seem to be attracted enough. But that alone attracts, that alone makes people to get attracted towards materialistic goal. This fact will be revealed in forthcoming chapters. What I mean to say, I can describe in a short way. We are attracted towards money. We are attracted towards the people who are handsome or beautiful. And we are attracted to even the nature. Where there is a huge lawn, you will be amazed. Go in front and stand in front of an ocean, Pacific Ocean or Arabic Ocean. You will become amazed. Your mind will become stunned. There are places in Himalayas, only greenery is around. You become amazed. All this attraction comes through where? The attraction only belongs to Brahman, not Prakriti, my dear. That is the fact. We are attracted by this material object is because of what? Brahman. Now we have to transcend these materialistic aspects. That's all. That's what Shastra is making. It's not allowing or asking you to throw it out. You cannot throw the world. You cannot throw your body. You cannot throw your emotions. If we throw emotions, there is no life. Without emotions, there is no life. But Shastra says here in this verse, there are three kinds of doors for Naraka. One is called Kamaha. Another is called Krodhaha. One more is known as Lobhaha. Kamaha means what? Desire. Krodhaha means what? Anger. Lobhaha means what? Greed. And this Lobhaha has got one more meaning, miserliness. We call it conjuse, isn't it? Desire. Desire, is it the door of Naraka? Is it the door to hell? I can't accept. Now we should know what kind of desire. The desire against Dharma. The desire which is predominated by Rajasika, Tamasika nature. A person who is dominated by Tamasika nature called Rakshasa. The person who is dominated by Rajasika nature is called Asura. The desire of Asura and Rakshasa is the way, a gateway to hell. That's what is to be understood here. Kamaha means the wrong desires. Because the desire to perform dharma karya is nothing but Ishvara. Dharma viruddho kamosmi bharatarshava. I am in the form of desire which is not against dharma. Bhagavan himself said in 10th chapter, Bhagavan never go and contradict against his own statements. All statements you can see, there is a sequence. It is not disconnected at all. Kamaha means wrong desire, the desire of tamasic nature. Then what? Tasmat etat trayam tyajet. The teaching. The gist of the entire 16th chapter is to give up these three things. You should not use these doors, only they lead to Naraka. No, Swamiji. You see, there is no place called Naraka and Surga. I don't believe it. That's your personal opinion or decision or conclusion. But what Krishna says, Naraka means in which only fruit which is in the form of papa is available. Only pain, 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 no pleasure. You have the choice to change your door, change your route. Because we do have only one Sharira. In that one Sharira, we have only one mind. But the mind is polluted by Raga and Dvesha. The mind should be maintained or directed by Buddhi, one more faculty, which is in the form of decision making capacity, my dear. That has to be utilized. Buddhi must be utilized. For that, one should be aware the Buddhi has got three kinds of decision making capacity called Purushartha. We have to utilize the Purushartha. We have to practice the Purushartha. We should know how to make the decision of it. The Buddhi should be trained well. Bhagavad Gita trains well. This chapter, the 16th chapter, is a training. While selecting goal, while selecting means, while selecting any idea or ideology, we have to, remember all these verses. Is it dominated by tamas? Is it dominated by rajas? Then what kind of character that I should have? The character which is constructed by sattvika, by nature. One may have the question, according to these verses, I think I am dominated by tamas. Then what should I do? You can utilize your buddhi, my dear. Nothing wrong in that. Because of our karma pala, we have kept, we need not to blame our parents, we need not to blame our society, we need not to blame the culture. Just, now there is a time, there is a choice. Just, why can't you utilize these ideas? Why can't you empower your buddhi? Why can't you enrich your life? That is what the goal of this verse. This verse is a concluding verse and three more verses which will be supporting to this verse. Here Bhagavan concludes all these three are called the gateway for Naraka, to Naraka. If you find yourself, you are occupied with the tamasic nature, then what? You have to give the tamasic nature. How can I give that? By converting your action into rajasic nature. Because the mind cannot give it up immediately. When you say anything no to your mind, it will say yes, yes, yes. When you say one time no, yes, yes, yes. When you say no, you should not, then the mind will say that I should, I have to. You tell me, to a child, don't touch fire. A small kid, which tries to touch the fire because fire is attractive. It is the illuminating principle. A baby which is endowed with 5 sense organs, these organs of eyes means the seeing capacity cannot understand the heating principle of the fire. It can understand only the illuminating principle. Therefore it goes. This heating principle is understood only by the touching sense. The touching sense, it cannot experience the object which is beyond its territory. It should come to the close proximity, then alone it will get shocked. So once the kid touches the fire, it won't touch again. So like, the fire which is attractive. The kid won't listen. When you say no, the kid will, say yes. You should not have ice cream. I need ice cream. You should not have chocolate. Then it will crave for chocolate. That's what the tendency of mind. Therefore, we are not going to block the mind. We are not going to stop the mind. We are not going to make effort to become thoughtlessness. And people are teaching like that. One should become to the state where is no thoughts. That will make the condition more worse than before. The thoughts have to be channelized. Therefore, even Patanjali says, Chittavritti Nirodha. Yogash Chittavritti Nirodha. Nirodha means not to completely stop. Organize. We have to select the thoughts which are basically rajas in nature. Every thought has got its own nature, A spiritual seeker should be aware about that. Every thought. When you see somebody has got victory, maybe he is your brother or he is your relative, he may be your friends or he may be your enemy. Jealousy comes automatically. It doesn't see the jealousy, the nature of that thought. So jealousy is experienced in the form of thought first. Then physically you experience some kind of irritations. In the stomach there is kind of fire, burning sensation. Jealousy is a thought. A jealousy, the thought which by nature is endowed with rajasic swabhava. We have to be very careful how to treat our own self. Treat every thought. I should know how to treat with my own thought. If younger or elder one, your own brother, when he brings a cup, you will be having both kinds of thoughts. The first jealousy thought will come. You have to transcend it or you overcome it. Then you have to overcome how? He is my brother. Then the thought goes away. You accept. If you keep on losing the competitions, then the situation will become worse. You cannot accept his victories. You will be irritated. And finally you will get, anger towards yourself. Then you will become angry on him. From that point of time, you are started to move towards hell. Everything begins in the form of thought. Thought which is colored by the emotions. The thoughts which are connected with the destinations. The thoughts which are backed by the past experiences. The thoughts which is also supported by the surroundings. Therefore, we have to become very careful with our thoughts. Now, I should know how to categorize the thought, whether this thought is dominated by wrong desires, or this thought which is loaded with greed. Is it thought which is in the form of anger? Then what? I have to become very careful. I should know how to convert. If I have emotions, anger on somebody, just thrashing him is tamasic nature. Instead of thrashing him, I use that force. Anger is nothing but the force. Greed is nothing but one of the forces. I have to utilize in proper way. One can go to gym, but one can go to mandir, means temple, and chanting mantras, focusing on spiritual activities, or focusing on the business. And he can select a competitive job or sports in which he can spend, means organize his mind by spending the energy force which is raised. This is how we have to manage. Tamasic desire must be given up by adapting Rajasic desires. Then the Rajasic desires can be also be given up. How? By adapting Sattvika nature. Sattvika means what? Staying with selfishness, not giving priority for our own name and fame or our own sake of security and pleasure. That's what we have to underline this line. Etat trayam tyajet. Tasmat etat trayam tyajet. We have to give these three kinds of doors. We have to remove these three kinds of doors from our life. Then alone we will be, situated in a proper line, means proper line. The line, the way which reaches to the ultimate destination. Kamaha, Krodha, Tatha, Lobha. Lobha means, Krodha means we are aware, Unfulfilled desire makes a person to become angry. Lobha means, having greed, a mind or buddhi which expects more than his qualification. It's called greed. He doesn't know how capable he is, but he wants to become CM, he wants to become PM, he wants to become President of India. This is what called greed. The greedy people cannot get successful, they cannot live with anyone in positive way. He says, these three narakas will spoil first his own self, then it will start spoiling others too. Therefore, the first effort of a spiritual seeker to give these three kinds of doors to Naraka, to give up. One should become mukta from these three activities. It means every second we have to practice our purushartha. Whether I am victimized by kama or krodha or lobha, what? Once we are free from these three doors, what happens? It comes in the next verse. Yetair vimuktah kaunteya tamodvaraistribhirnaraha acharatyatmana shreyaha tato yati param gatim. Yetaihi tamodvaraihi tirbhihi yaha naraha vimuktaha. The person who is freed from these three kinds of ways to Naraka, Atmanaha Shreyaha Acharati and Param Gatam Yati. He can adapt Shreyas. The Shreyas word is to be understood with the meaning which is given in Kathopanishad. Shreyas means a path, a way which leads to ultimate. Therefore, that person can get or follow the proper route, proper means to the proper destination, then they will get definitely ultimate. Ultimate means what? Proper security and pleasure as moksha in their life. That's all the meaning of this verse number 22nd. Then the next words. Yashastra vidhimutsrijya vartate kamakaratah nasa siddhimavapnoti nasukham na param gatim. Kamakaratah, out of desire, out of wrong desire, or driven by wrong desire. A person who is driven by wrong desire violates Shastra Vidhi, because we violate any rules and regulations only for the sake of what? Selfishness. Like this person who doesn't believe Ishvara, who cannot accept the concept of Dharma, who doesn't respect others, only lives for his own purpose, wrongly driven by his own emotions. That person, Siddhim na saha apnoti, he cannot attain ultimate. He will be thrashing or punishing himself in this life itself. Na sukhamyati na param gatim. He won't become happy and he won't reach the ultimate. That is the meaning of this verse. There is one more verse. That verse is the last verse of this chapter. That we will continue from next class tomorrow. Harihi Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.